my fellow makeup enthusiasts, welcome back to my perfectly healthy expression of makeup enthusiasm. My name is Lainey and today I'm talking about the makeup on my mind. This is a little bit like a new releases video, a little bit will I buy it, but it's not exactly that because I'm talking about a couple of things that have been out for a while that I'm personally thinking about quite a bit, and it's definitely not a will I buy it video because I never go through trend mood and swipe right or swipe left just because I don't personally really enjoy those videos. Even if I really love the content creator, those aren't my favorite videos to watch because so many of the new releases just don't interest me at all. So I am only talking about the makeup that caught my eye. The first thing on my mind is the Givenchy Matissime Velvet Radiant Matte Fluid Foundation with SPF 20. The reason this is on my mind is because I got a sample of this with the Sephora order that I placed last week, and as you can see, I've gotten into my shade. I've been using the sample, I'm wearing it today, and I really like it a lot. So I'm thinking about taking back this skincare product that I bought. I might talk about that in a favorites and fails, I don't know. But I bought some really bougie skincare when Sephora was having their sale and it broke me out like nobody's business. So I'm gonna take that shit back and I'm thinking about picking this up because I really, really like it. And I should tell you that my skin is primarily oily, not super oily, but it definitely is combination leaning oily. I do get dry patches here and there depending on the time of the month, but it's pretty on the oily side, and so a matte foundation works really well for me personally. The second item that is very much on my mind is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm Palette. This is on my mind so much because I bought it. I bought it the second it came out because I have grand plans to use this palette to do a dark crystal inspired eye look because I'm completely obsessed with the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. The Dark Crystal was absolutely, hands down, with a bullet, my favorite movie as a kid. So I've been loving that Netflix series so much. It's so good. Even if you didn't watch the movie as a kid, if you're not an old fart like me, then I think you would still love it if you love fantasy, if you love just, I would say puppetry, but puppetry has kind of a janky reputation. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. So I've been watching that nonstop and I definitely want to do a look inspired by these colors. I think that this palette would really bring those colors to life. So I'm really excited to get that. I did pay extra for expedited shipping and I still don't have it even though I ordered it on Tuesday. So yeah, that is a little bit for Dominique Cosmetics customer service, but still excited to get this palette. Then we have this that I have no interest in getting, but it did catch my eye because it's Colourpop and I love Colourpop. I believe it's called the Jade palette. It is a 30 pan palette and I feel like Colourpop is kind of copying Morphe, but they're doing the thing that everybody complains about when it comes to Morphe palettes because they're so big. I don't think anybody's gonna be interested in this because most of the people that I watch aren't big fans of big palettes, and honestly, there are about maybe 2 or 3 shades in this palette that even look remotely interesting to me, and most of the shades that look interesting to me, in fact all of the shades that look interesting to me, I have those shades from Colourpop. So yeah, hard pass. Also, Natasha Denona is coming out with the Metropolis palette that is retailing for $129, so I'm guessing that it's a little bit smaller than her original palettes that I think were $250, or at least in that range. They were way up there. This is $129. It's a 28 pan palette, so I'm guessing it's a little bit smaller, kind of like the Sunrise palette, which I think is a good thing that she's going a little bit smaller and being a little bit more accessible, but these colors just don't speak to me, so I'm not interested in those at all. And hey, look at me, I did a little teeny tiny will I buy it, just like a real YouTuber. But enough about the shit that I'm not interested in. Let's talk about the stuff that I definitely want, starting with Too Faced. The holiday collection is gingerbread themed. I'm not particularly interested in anything in this collection except for the bronzer because Too Faced makes awesome bronzer. I'm one of those weirdos that actually really liked the Unicorn Tears bronzer. In fact, this is one of my favorite bronzers, if not my favorite bronzer. I still use it, and I'm guessing that the gingerbread bronzer is gonna smell like gingerbread. I did play with the gingerbread palette from last year and I thought it smelled great. The color story didn't particularly speak to me, and this year's gingerbread color story doesn't really speak to me either, but that bronzer, it's gonna be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. And now for an item that my head is exploding and exploding and exploding over. Urban Decay is bringing back the shimmery, sparkly, scented body powder. I have been whining and bitching and moaning and crying and begging Urban Decay to bring back this body powder. And baby, they heard me. They brought it back. I don't know if this stuff is lickable, and so, I mean, you know, lick it off somebody's body at your own risk, but I like it for the scent and the shimmer, and they've got it. Oh my gosh, it's coming back. I don't know, does it have a date? September 13th, same day as Borderlands 3 is releasing, and I am getting that stuff. I'm getting every single shade, every single scent. Cannot wait. The Urban Decay gods heard my plea, and they answered my prayers, and this is back! Next up, we have something else that I am definitely picking up from Melt Cosmetics. We have the Radioactive Collection. I've always been high-key interested in the Radioactive stack, but I couldn't quite pull the trigger because I'm thinking $48 for 4 eyeshadows, and I'm never gonna get through all of them, but $48 for a palette? Yeah, I think I can justify that. But honestly, I'm gonna get this whole collection because I'm really trying to up my game here on YouTube, and I'm trying to review bigger bundles and just more stuff and more recent, more relevant stuff. So I'm hoping that this will get me some more views because I'm kind of desperately needing them. But I swore to myself when I started doing YouTube that I would never buy something just to do a video on it, and I'm kind of doing that with this collection. This time, I'm gonna go in for it. I'm gonna buy the whole collection, and we're gonna see if that works. I don't know. But I mean, I am low-key interested, like in the lipsticks. I am high-key interested in the blushes, and I'm over the moon interested in the shadow palette. So, getting that. Juvia's Place recently came out with a really boring palette and a really beautiful palette. This reminds me a lot of the Zulu palette, but I've seen some videos on it, and it does look different enough to justify it, so I might pick that up. But at any rate, I am thinking about it. It is very beautiful to me. The Nomad palette, nope, not interested in that. Although Nomad Cosmetics is a brand that I'm very interested in, especially the Tokyo palette. I just don't know if I need this because it reminds me a lot of the Jawbreaker palette, but still, look how pretty. See? So pretty, right? And now let's hop over to the indie side of things, which is where I personally really like to live. Notoriously Morbid, an indie brand that I really love, is coming out with a Halloween collection. They have a Jack Skellington bath bomb. I think they call it Bone Daddy for copyright reasons, but Jack Skellington bath bomb. They have a cauldron bath bomb that has a little spider on top. I totally already ordered those. They have some lotions that sound really, really appealing. Just the scent combinations sound wonderful and fall-like and just my kind of scent. I will link that website in the description box below. Check them out. I also really want the Shadow collection, the Endless collection. So if anybody knows of the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman, it's a comic book, it's a graphic novel series. Not so much a comic book, but a graphic novel series. Even if you hate comic books, give this series a try. Because I'm not a big comic book person. I've been dumped by guys for not being as into comic books as I seem like I would be. But this series, oh, it's beautiful. I mean, this was my entire college experience. I always had one of these graphic novels in my backpack, and I would constantly read these over and over and over. I must have read the whole thing 5 or 6 times at least. And so it's basically a story about the endless. So there are 7 entities: destiny, death, dream, desire, despair, delirium, and destruction. Delirium is the one that I identify with the most. When I was in college, I was very much a death, and that's not a bad thing. It sounds like a bad thing, but it's not. I've talked way too much about this, but anyway, they have an eyeshadow collection of multi-chromes that are all named after the endless. So I want that really bad. And if I get only pressed shadows, I could get the whole collection for $70, and Notoriously Morbid does offer Afterpay, which has gotten me in trouble lately, so I'm trying to steer clear of Afterpay, but man, I want these shadows. Check them out if you're a Neil Gaiman fan, if you're a Sandman fan, check this out, faux show. Another e-tailer or indie brand that is a personal favorite of mine, Cocoa Pink, has come out with their fall and winter line. I love this brand. I've loved this brand for over a decade. They are fresh, handmade cosmetics. It's a small business, but they smell so good. They have lotions, they have hair products, they have face products, but mostly I use that brand for their lotions and their body scrubs and their body oils. They smell so good. You can get things that smell like food, like one of my favorite scents is Fruit Loops. Their fall and winter line is sublime. So I'm just gonna link that website in the description box. They have like, I think hundreds and hundreds of scents. So just feel free to peruse that if you love fall and winter inspired scents. I highly recommend them so much. The shipping is a little bit slow, so don't be surprised if you don't get your order for like 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, but they always have turnaround time listed on their website. So it's never a surprise. You never think that you're gonna get it in like 5 days and then it's 5 weeks. So yeah, check them out because I highly, highly recommend them. And finally, I stumbled upon a preview of the Lush 2019 Halloween collection. You all know that I love Lush and you all know that I love Halloween, so this is a perfect marriage. In my heart, I love this stuff. Every single year I go crazy at Lush around Halloween time. So let me break down the ones that I'm most interested in. First, we have the Mercury Retrograde Bath Bomb, lemon, geranium, and cinnamon. And that could be really nasty, but Lush has a way of making things that don't sound like they would smell good together, smell really good together. So I've got high hopes for that. They have the Boo Shower Slime, which is bubblegum scented, which sounds wildly unappealing, but if it smells like Snow Fairy, actually I hated that scent at first, but it grew on me. So if Boo smells like Snow Fairy, down for that. And plus it looks like it's gonna be like black and slimy and cute. And then we have the Bewitched Kitty Cat Bath Bomb, not Bath Bomb, Bubble Bar, returning from last year and I think the year before as well. That is a blackberry scent. It smells just like their Blackberry Bath Bomb, which I think has been discontinued, but it might be back with their huge bath bomb line. Let's see what else. And then we have the Glowworm Fun Soap. So if you haven't ever tried Fun Soap, it is a moldable soap. So it's great for kids. I bought this as a gift for kids of friends of mine, for my nieces, for my nephews, and they seem to like it. At least they tell me they like it. I like it too, even though I'm way too old to be playing with my soap, I still do. And the fact that it's called Glowworm is awesome to me because I'm so old that I had a glowworm when I was a kid and he got me through my bad case of the chicken pox. So that's great for me. I don't know if it glows in the dark. I'm guessing it probably doesn't, but I'm guessing it will probably smell fantastic. And finally, Lord of Misrule is coming back in bath bomb form. That's one of my favorite scents. How would I describe it? It's described on the website as patchouli and black pepper. I don't think that that's what it smells like because that sounds unappealing to me and probably to a lot of other people. To me, it smells like a fall festival in the Texas Hill Country. That probably means nothing to you, but it has fall vibes, it's spicy, it's sweet. I think it smells divine. And last of all, I wanted to mention that Likely Makeup is coming out with a blush palette. It's called the Clown Blush Palette. It includes a yellow blush, which is something that I've been pretty interested in trying. I think it's a trend that originated in Korea. I could be wrong, but that's something that could go very wrong or it could look really cool. So I would really like to try this palette. I don't know how much it's going to be, and so that will determine whether I buy this or not. But yeah, since I do like the other shades in the palette, I figure even if I don't like the yellow blush, I can still get use out of this. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna grab my Zulu palette and I'm gonna use this shade right here and I'm gonna put it on my cheeks and just kind of see what it looks like. I feel like I went a little bit heavy-handed on this. I tried to blend it out with a sponge. If I had more time to work with it and I was really trying to make it look good, I would probably go over it with highlighter or powder, but I don't hate this. I actually think that with my hair, it looks kind of cool. So the Likely Makeup Clown Blush palette just kind of bumped up my wish list just a little bit because, yeah, I like this. This does not look bad to me. This looks kind of cool to me. Although I could also make the argument that I don't need it because I can just use this, which is what I used just now. So that's a maybe. So that wraps it up for today. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you are most excited about right now. Are you interested in the yellow blush trend? What do you think about this look? Is it weird? Is it pretty? I mean, I don't know. I just kind of like it because it's a little bit different, but not too over the top. So let me know what you think about that. Are you interested in trying any of the indie brands that I mentioned? Do you love Neil Gaiman? Do you love the Dark Crystal? I'm really trying to get some more interaction going, so leave me a comment. It doesn't have to be about any of the things that I just mentioned. Just leave me a comment. Tell me what's on your mind. And as always, thank you so very much for joining me. Follow me on Instagram. I will follow you back. Throw me a pity like, give me some encouragement to make some more videos. Very special shout out to you if you were watching this video on the toilet. And until next time, stay adorably obsessed with whatever brings you joy.